Fantastic. So welcome everybody to today's Commodities Corner, presented by myself, Phil Carr, at the Gold and Silver Club. Today is a post-non-farm payroll session, so we've got lots to cover with you. It's been a very, very lucrative and a busy market this week, certainly for commodities, and we'll have a look at that and explore that in more detail when we go over to the chart. So today, the session will be included live market analysis. We'll go through a watch list of trade ideas. We'll give you a forecast of where we expect gold, silver, oil, and the commodity currencies to be heading next. We'll be answering questions, and of course, we'll be providing live support throughout today's session as well. Any questions or comments, just let me know. So let me introduce you to the Gold and Silver Club. The Gold and Silver Club is the #1 commodities trading and investment coaching company. We're regarded as the go-to authority on commodities trading as internationally respected experts. Our analysis and our opinions on the metals, energy, and agricultural markets, they're routinely sought by major financial television channels and publications, which include Bloomberg, Reuters, CNBC, the Financial Times, the Wall Street Journal. Over the last 10 years, myself and my team of experts, we have trained and mentored thousands of private traders from all over the world on our exclusive research-driven strategies. So for further information on our service, please go to www.jointhelivetradingroom.com. Okay, good. So with that, we'll move straight over to my favorite trading ideas right now. We'll have a look at the overall sentiment in the market. We've got a few positions now after the non-farm payrolls, which are moving well. So we'll have a look at those and explore those in more details. As always, if there are any questions or any comments, feel free to put those into the chat as we continue with today's analysis. So with that, we'll just do a screen share. Okay, let's have a look at that. Okay, good. Right, so just a check-in. You can see my screen okay, and you can hear me okay as well. Okay, fantastic. So just to give you a really the summary and short version, then we'll look at the long version. Essentially, we have gone long gold and silver. That is the summary after today's non-farm payrolls. We are seeing breakouts on gold in a number of different currencies at the moment. You can see right now the metals are leading. So the biggest mover right now is platinum, which is up over 2% on the day at the moment, followed by silver, which is up over 1%. And then we have gold priced in British pounds, which is up almost 1%. Gold priced in New Zealand dollar is up at the moment just under 1%. Gold is now trading above $1,218. Gold price in euros is breaking out. Gold price in Swiss franc. Gold price in Canadian dollars. Okay, so essentially we're seeing some really strong moves here with respect to gold prices. So we're seeing a breakout at the moment. So with that, let's just have a look at let's have a look at gold first of all, priced in US dollars. So gold now is trading at $1,218 per ounce. That is after today we broke down towards the lows of $1,203. We've been anticipating that a low might be formed today prior to non-farm payrolls. Gold was starting to get well supported even before today's non-farm payroll data. We were seeing a breakout in gold. So it's favored quite a nice entry point here following on from non-farm payrolls. What I suspect has happened today, and we'll be looking out for this week, there's a few points that you want to be aware of on gold when we see this sort of price action. Normally when you come down to a low like this, as we've seen with 1211 here, normally what we see is a breakdown of a swing low like 1211 before we see a reversal move. So it's very uncommon to just see a key level of support, hold spot on, and then bounce and break out from that level. Normally we need to see a flush out, and then we see orders start to come into the market. My perception of what has probably happened here today is gold didn't manage to come all the way down to the 1200 level. So it's come down to 1204 today. There will be some traders and investors out there who've been looking to buy into gold and have been patient around the 1200 level, but they maybe don't want to miss out on an opportunity to buy gold that low, and they would have their limit orders, their buy orders just above 1200, which could sit at 1203, 1204, 1205, just in case the price doesn't come all the way down to $1,200 per ounce. So that's very common. So let's say, for example, you're an institution or you're a big investor. You're looking to add positions to gold. You're looking at a perfect buy order. So you might be looking at 1200. But again, you would be frustrated if you missed out just because the price came close to that level. So therefore, you put your limit order, your buy order in slightly above that zone. So whether it be 1204, 1205, 1206, just to make sure if the price comes down to 1200, just in case it doesn't quite get there, your order is slightly above that level. And you see this happen quite often. Just above a round number is where orders can get filled. So we haven't come all the way down to 1200. We've broken and reversing just above that level. So gold, the momentum is strong. And for us at the Gold and Silver Club, because we're tracking the precious metals in all the other currencies, it's really easy to get a early entry on a move like this. So we've traded this right off the bat from non-farm payrolls. We already had long positions on silver, which is now breaking out as well. So we've got into this pretty early on the breakout move with gold. And I'll show you what I mean here. So if we have a look, for example, you can note here that gold priced in New Zealand dollars, for example, started to break out earlier. It's already broken above the 1 week highs. Gold priced against the British pound has broken out almost to 2 week highs. So we're seeing a strong reversal. Gold priced in US dollars is now, it's not as strong as gold price in some of the other currencies, but certainly it's now trading above $1,218. It's almost at 1,219, including spread. You'll be buying that for over 12.19 now, easily on gold. Gold priced in euros is breaking out to 1 week highs. You've got confluence there as well, very oversold, breaking out to the highest levels there. Gold priced in Swiss franc is getting a bid. Gold priced in Canadian dollars. So you get the sense, right, of what we're looking at here. Gold priced against the Australian dollar. Generally speaking, there is a lot of gold strength right now. Platinum today is now breaking out. Wouldn't be surprised to see a break above the weekly highs here as well for platinum prices. So we're really starting to gain some momentum here to the upside with gold and the precious metals in general. You can also look over to, for example, the gold to silver ratio, which broke down to the lowest levels in 2 weeks today. And generally speaking, when the gold to silver ratio starts to break down like this, where it broke out to 80 to 1 over about a couple of weeks ago, once it starts to roll over like this and break down, it often signifies that the low is in for gold and silver. That's what we're seeing at the moment on the gold to silver ratio. So I would suggest it's definitely, we've got very strong sentiment at the moment for gold. You can see basically everything, all of my indicators are leading on gold right now. I mean, gold right now, just whilst I've been speaking, it's at 12.19 now. So very clear breakout move that we're seeing on gold. Probably be back at 12.20 soon, so it'll probably break above that level today. So I think the overall sentiment is pretty positive for gold right now. For the metals, the low could be in after this move back down to $1,204. Gold is getting a bid here pretty fast, and we're also seeing a bit of a sell-off on the US dollar and some of the other currencies against that, like the Swiss franc is now starting to reverse as well. The dollar index as well, and US dollar Japanese yen, which you would expect is now under a bit of pressure here too. So that's what we're seeing at the moment. Australian dollar actually starting to catch a bit of a bid here too. In terms of the currencies right now, so what is looking strong, what is looking supportive, for me it's all about gold at the moment. That is the main leader right now. We're getting some support with the euro, we're getting a bit of support with the pound as well, but really, yeah, I'll be looking at that. Copper, off the back of trade war tension this week, is still looking quite weak right now. Japanese yen pairs are taking a bit of a hit, so US dollar Japanese yen selling off, pound Japanese yen, euro Japanese yen, they're all looking a bit weak at the moment. The dollar index as well is starting to reverse a bit. But gold, yeah, gold is definitely the leader right now as of 3:42 London time. That is leading the moves right now. Okay, so let's just bring it back to some of the major news items here. See if there's been much in terms of an update. So gold rebounding here after hitting 17-month lows. So gold bounced off that level on Friday after weaker US jobs data pushed the dollar lower, and Chinese central bank lifted its currency. Gold demand as well is also getting boosted by Asia demand. So often as we go into months of August and September, that is where gold demand does increase, and we often start to see more support come into gold at that time of year as well for the precious metals. As we go into the wedding season in Asia, that's often a time when you can see strong support come into the metals. I would also look at silver. We've got a new buy signal developing on silver. Silver on the hourly chart is breaking out. I mean, gold's breaking out basically on the hourly as well. So we've got quite a lot of support coming in here for the metals right now. I suspect this sentiment will continue today. So we've got a new buy signal developing on silver. We've got through a lot of the data this week, so it has been a really news-driven week. We've had on Wednesday the FOMC statement, then shortly afterwards that was overshadowed by Donald Trump and the White House giving further updates about trade tariffs, which has been negative for certainly copper, and it slammed the commodity currencies midweek as well. And then on Thursday we had the Bank of England interest rate decision, and everyone's been just waiting for non-farm payrolls to see how this would really play out in the markets. But the US dollar is now reversing. US dollar Swiss franc is also reversing. Silver is catching a bid. Gold is now moving into profit, 12.19 at the moment. Platinum got a new buy signal developing on platinum too. Copper also is getting a bit of support here as well. So we're trading at about 2.755 on platinum, on copper at the moment, getting a bit of support there as well on copper. Palladium actually not leading as much. If we're looking to some of the currencies, if your preference is to trade currencies, I would look at Australian dollar, Swiss franc. It might not be today, but could be early next week. Got a new buy signal developing on the Australian dollar, Swiss franc. The Australian dollar is getting well supported. If gold and silver continue to break out, you would expect the beneficiaries of that in currencies to be the New Zealand dollar and then also the Australian dollar as well. So those are the markets which are getting some support here in a bid at the moment. Silver, actually, I'm just looking at on the 1 hour chart. It's breaking out, basically. I mean, I would look at this, guys. I wouldn't discount silver today. It's starting to really get a wiggle on here. We're seeing quite a favorable move to the upside today. Silver is definitely leading. Australian dollar might break out today. Euro, with dollar weakness here, you'd expect the euro to sell off. US dollar Japanese yen is selling off, so it might be reasonable for a sell short. We've got a sell signal developing on the US dollar Japanese yen now as well. The pound is reversing, so we're seeing a bit of support come in here for the pound. US dollar at the moment, so after the Bank of England interest rate decision yesterday, we're seeing a bit of support come into that. You could also look to sell short the euro pound as well. Seems to be at some resistance there as well. So really that's the sentiment. That's the summary, that we're expecting potentially further momentum on the metals, and what we might see is further weakness on the US dollar here as well. So the way I'm looking at this right now is basically we're long gold, we've got long positions on silver. I'm still looking at a potential breakout trade on either the Australian dollar Swiss franc or the Australian dollar US dollar. I have both of those markets on the radar. The euro is getting some support. US dollar Japanese yen is basically a sell at the moment, but it's just like taking the same trade as going long gold or silver, so it's quite similar. Pound US dollar is getting some support right now as well. And that's it in terms of those commodity currencies. If we look over to oil, oil has had quite a lot of choppy price action this week. The most important levels for me on oil are the weekly chart, where we're coming into support on the weekly, right at the lower end of the trend channel. It's been the case for a while now, where we keep retesting the lower end of that channel, finding some support. If the dollar starts to correct further, you'd expect more support coming into oil, just from an inverse correlation point of view. Usually if the US dollar sells off, breaks down, it would support most of the commodities. Goldman Sachs have been putting out over the month of July updates to their clients that it's a good time to look to get some exposure to commodities. You've got a market like platinum, which recently broke down to 10-year lows, which is now getting a bit of support here. Copper I would keep on the radar as well, very oversold market. I mean, about 3.5 months ago, about 1 month ago, it was trading at 3.5-month highs. We've seen copper really take quite a tumble on the additional trade war fears, so we've seen quite a lot of pressure to the downside, but it's getting some support. If copper breaks out, expect Australian dollar as well. Australian dollar looks quite supportive now. We might see a breakout above the weekly pivot, the monthly pivot as well today. I would keep an eye on that. So there might be prospect for a Australian dollar move. Even Australian dollar Swiss franc might be a good way to play that if you don't want to have too much risk directly against the US dollar. So I might actually look at that after today's session as well. I expect US dollar CAD weakness potentially. US dollar Swiss franc would sell off as a result of US dollar weakness as well. So the US dollar is having another failed breakout, actually, another failed move above the $95 level, no additional follow through. You still need to be nimble in these market conditions right now. So it's a favorable move for gold at the moment. It's breaking out to 12.19. Silver's breaking out. Platinum is breaking out. I like gold and silver and platinum for a long at the moment. You never know what can change as we go into next week, but certainly sentiment right now is dollar negative, and it's bullish for the metals. So again, just going back to really what is leading right now, platinum is leading with the metals at the moment. It's up over 2%. Silver is also trading around $15.52. Gold price in a number of currencies is doing very well at the moment. Even palladium is getting some support. Any currency, if you're looking at like euro, if you're looking at New Zealand dollar or pounds, basically the Australian dollar is leading. That would be my preference, to go long the Australian dollar versus other currencies right now. That seems to be the leader at the moment, and we're getting a decent move right now with just several of the other inverse correlations to the dollar. If you're looking to short the dollar, basically I would look at going short US dollar, Japanese yen, seems reasonable. Euro, Japanese yen, bit late to get into that. US dollar, Swiss franc might be a good sell short as well, but it's pretty similar to just going long gold, silver, Australian dollar. They're all quite similar trades to be taking at the moment. So that's what I would look at the moment. That's really what we're seeing in terms of sentiment, guys. I hope that gives you a bit of insight into what we're looking at. We've got longs on the metals right now. Wouldn't be surprised to see gold hit 1220 today, 1,220 US dollars per ounce. It looks quite strong. So overall sentiment is quite strong at the moment for the metals right now. Okay, good. And as I mentioned at the start of the session, if you would like to join a community of successful traders at the Gold and Silver Club and get updates to our real-time trade alerts, our traders really love our WhatsApp alerts, so we can keep you updated with breaking news via Reuters, overall market sentiment, which our traders love during news items. So especially this week, we've had breaking news items which have been really quick to send out to all of our traders for the FOMC announcement, for the additional trade tariffs, for the Bank of England interest rate just today, for non-farm payrolls, where we've got into gold at 12.14. So there's been some really great opportunities this week. So if you want to get access to our live trade alerts via WhatsApp, email, SMS, you want access to mentorship, expert advice, in-depth market analysis, trusted insights so that you can move much quicker on trades and maximize on opportunities, you just need to go to www.jointhelivetradingroom.com to make an application to join us at the Gold and Silver Club. Okay, so it's www.jointhelivetradingroom.com. Fill in the application, and we will, of course, get in touch with you ASAP. Okay, fantastic. So I think that's it for today's post non-farm payroll webinar. I wish you all a fantastic weekend, good trading. This week, again, we've had a lot of data. So we've had a lot of data as we go into next week. For the next 2 or 3 weeks, really, there's not as much data. America will not have as many news items, especially from central banks, until the minutes of the FOMC due later this month. So what does that mean? It means basically that any moves that we see today, if we're going to see reversals, if the dollar is topping out and metals are basing and bottoming, there's not going to be as much intervention from central banks that will reverse that move. So it's not like next week we could immediately see gold sell off as a result of an FOMC statement or a European Central Bank announcement or another non-farm payroll. You just haven't got those sort of central bank announcements coming in next week and the following week. So it could be a continuation. So it's just worth getting your ducks in a row, pay a bit of attention to where we are at the moment with the precious metals, gold, silver, platinum. Of course, if you want more education, if you want to get access to our insights and our updates, we prep all of our traders for the week ahead. Make an application to join us at jointhelivetradingroom.com. I'll put the link there just to make it super straightforward, okay? So it's www.jointhelivetradingroom.com. Okay, great. So I hope that helps. Okay, so with that, I wish you all a great weekend, good trading, and of course, we'll catch you back here on the next Commodities Corner. Thanks again, guys, and thanks to Sharice and the team at binary.com for putting on today's post non-farm payroll session. Okay, thanks, everyone. Take care and good trading.